So there's been some questions, some inquiries about publications that have to do with mandalas and what are the best books, the best sources for anything to do with mandalas. Well, we've actually done, I would say about 3 hours of videos, combined time, 3 hours of videos on mandalas on our website. And they can be found on the mandala video page. We've also done a number of examples as well of very good mandalas and just done videos specifically on those masterwork mandalas. But in terms of what really are the best publications, we have a bibliography page, and on that bibliography page we have we have not a large selection. It might only be about 12 or more publications. There's really not that many books out there. But above and beyond, the best book that I can recommend is by Kimiaki Tanaka out of Japan, and it's an illustrated history of the mandala from its genesis to the Kalachakra Tantra. Now, this is a book that is dealing with the theory of mandala, and it's dealing with the history of the development of mandala. And so this is really quite excellent. There's another publication called Mandala Architecture of Enlightenment, and this was done way back in 97. It's actually from an exhibition that was at Asia Society in New York City in 97. And this book is really quite good. Denise Leidy, who did, was working, I believe, may have been working at Asia Society at the time. I think she did really quite a good job. Then there's Martin Wilson out of Zurich, and he did Mandala Sacred Circle in Tibetan Buddhism. That was back in 2009. Actually, no, that one is that was a redo at the Rubin Museum of Art. The original one, the Mandala Sacred Circle in Tibetan Buddhism, that was in 1997, and that was, I believe, in Zurich. And it may have traveled as well, but I'm not sure. So these are three books that deal more with theory of mandala. You have to separate theory from examples, or theory from collections of mandalas. So we have Kimiaki Tanaka, an illustrated history of the mandala. Mandala Architecture of Enlightenment from Asia Society, New York City. And then we have Mandala Sacred Circle in Tibetan Buddhism by Martin Wilson. That's out of a museum in Zurich in 97. Okay, that's kind of it for theory. Then what we have is collections of mandalas, and we have one that's called Mitra Yogin's 108 Mandalas. Mitra Yogin was a famous yogi of the late 12th, 13th, early 14th century, sometime around then, and he put together 108. He collected and put together 108 mandalas that he thought were important, divided them into different tantra categories, and then there are a number of painted editions of this which can be found around the world, and some of them have been published, and I believe this 108 mandalas of Mitra Yogin it may actually be the Han collection out of South Korea. Then we have Tibetan Mandalas by Sonam Gyatso. This is again a very large 2-volume, extremely expensive set of books from 1983, and they are reproductions of the 32-volume collection of Tibetan books, and then the mandalas, the 100 and some odd mandalas that go with this large Tibetan language collection of ritual practices. So that was done in 83, and that was done out of, I think it was Toyo Bunko in Japan. So then we have Tibetan mandalas that can be easily purchased now. I think the revised edition was 1995, and that's by Raghu Veera and Lokesh Chandra. And this Tibetan mandalas has the Vajravali by Akara Gupta, and then the Tantra Samuchaya by which is the same as the Tibetan mandalas of Sonam Gyatso. But what Raghuveer and Lokesh Chandra did is they had them drawn. They hired Tibetan artists, and they redrew all of the the mandalas just as line drawings. They're not block prints. They're simply line drawings, and they're reproduced in the book. There's no real color images at all. But this is an absolutely essential book because it has this complete set of Vajravali and the complete set of the what's called in Tibetan the Gyude Kuntu, or the Tantra Samuchaya. Now, for the Bun religion, there's several books as well. Mandalas of the Bun religion, and this one is again coming out of National Museum of Ethnology in Osaka, Japan. So basically, what we're getting into is we're getting into a lot of books that are showing examples of mandalas. Now, other books that are important would be things such as the publication Gyantse. Gyantse is a large religious center in Tibet. It was not overly destroyed during the Cultural Revolution, and the book is called The Great Stupa of Gyantse, and on the upper floors of this stupa complex are many murals of mandalas. So it's a great study of mandalas. Then we also have publications of Sakya Monastery, where the upper levels of the Lakang Chemo, the main temple in Sakya, is all mandalas that circle really basically circle the monastery. So there's a lot of information on the HAR website. To understand books, you need to divide them into mandala theory and history, and then mandala examples. And so I think we've done that fairly well on the HAR website. So we'll leave it there. You can press like, you can subscribe, you can join HAR on Patreon. You can also make a donation on the homepage of Himalayan Art Resources.